Hi and welcome to this video. Today we're going to talk about the considerations to upgrade the domain functional level and how that project relates to Centrify agents. As you know, Centrify provides Active Directory clients for Unix, Linux, and Macs. And as any Active Directory client, you need to participate when domain functional levels are going to change. So nowadays, what's been happening, right, that Windows 2003 has been end-of-lifed. That means that a lot of you are doing this, but most likely you're not an Active Directory SME. But I'm going to give you at a high level what are the things that may impact. First and foremost, because we use Kerberos to talk to Active Directory to authenticate, when you raise the functional level from 2003 to 2008 and up, new encryption types are going to be introduced, right? So we're going to go from older encryption types to AES 128 and AES 256. Also, if you're introducing Windows Server 2012 domain controllers to Windows 2003 environments, by default, some of the older encryption types are not going to be supported, including things like DES, right? When you change the crypto, Kerberos works creating secrets based on the krbtgt account, and that account password is going to change as well. There's other reasons why that password is going to change, and I outlined that on the blog as well. SID compression. If you also have Windows 2012 domain controllers, SID compression is going to be enabled by default. So that means that the agents need to be able to look at the pack that may have compressed data in it. The good thing is that since last year you're pretty much fine with Centrify, but you need to be able to work within the project to provide information to your Active Directory SMEs, like, okay, how many Active Directory clients do you have out there? Are they going to be fine with the encryption types, krbtgt change, SID compression at a minimum, right? So there's other things that you have to keep in mind. And you have to document exceptions. So how do you do this? First and foremost, you need to know how basic stuff like adinfo-v is going to show you the Active Directory agent version. If you have a large deployment, the best tool that you can use is the deployment report. In this example, because I'm going to be upgrading to Windows, raising the functional level, I only have one computer, but if I need to generate a list of all the computers that I have and all the agents that are running, the best tool is going to be the deployment report. So you can generate a deployment report real quick, preview the report, and notice right here that I have all the information, but including what versions of the agent are running, right? So this is going to tell you right away. And by the way, all the data has been de-identified. What that means is that when you look at the report data, your server names and all that information is going to be masked. Okay, so great two tools to perform the the inventory. Other command lines that you can use, like for example, in my environment, I'm running, I use PowerShell, and just to show you, what are the levels that we're running at, right? But if you wanted to determine this from some of the Unix CLI, you can use tools like adinfo to get that information. So adinfo -- diag, and I want to do a grep for the word functionality with capital. And notice that it's going to tell me what type of behavior do we have, right? So in my particular case, I have a domain controller that is running Windows 2008 R2, right? But is running Windows 2003 mode, because one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to upgrade it. And I'm going to add Windows 2012 domain controller so you can see the agent in action here. The key here is, because I have a Windows 2008 machine, the behavior already introduces the high degree, the higher level encryption types, including AES and all that nice stuff. So if I inspect things like, for example, let's look at the cache ticket from this environment. And let's see if I have that command from before. Um, so in here, basically what I'm doing, I'm running a klist minus fe against the system cache. So that's going to show me what are the tickets that are cached for the actual computer account in the system. Okay, and let's look at the output of this, and it's asking me for, of course, sudo password. So this type of testing you can do with even with an express mode machine. So if you wanted to, and I'm probably right, yeah, bad typing. So notice in here, what is the description of all this? This is my TGT. This is the encryption type, right? So notice E-type is ARC4, right? Uh, for my TGT. And this is related to the functionality. But notice that I have my LDAP and everything, and my CIFS ticket. Probably when I read the sysvol, they all have the higher degree of encryption. So the next video that I'm going to do, I'm going to start upgrading this machine to a domain controller. And this is going to be my second domain controller, and I'm going to make it into a Windows 2012 machine. And we'll see how these things change, right, when you introduce a Windows 2012 machine, and the behavior of the agent as well. So I'm hoping that this helps if it coaches you to create your own labs. But the underlying conclusion is this: with Centrify, you're all set. I mean, as long as you're keeping your agents up to date and your consoles up to date, you have the ability to gather the information. You have tools for troubleshooting. You have everything you need to have a smooth sailing when you go ahead and raise your DFLs.